Well, we watched the earlier match, Wang Suwei against Christo Popov, and that produced after 67 minutes, sorry. Wang Suwei is the opponent for Zii Jia or Koki Watanabe. Still in this section 2 of the draw, Narioka and Obayashi are playing right now on court 3, and Lu Guangzhou and Li Qiaohao still to come. Looking for round 2 berths. Well, as expected, Zii Jia gets his round of applause. Koki Watanabe following him as well. Bronze medalist at the Olympics, Zii Jia. Koki Watanabe didn't play in this tournament last year. This, of course, was their head-to-head stretching back for a while now, and it's Koki Watanabe who's clutching his shoulder for some reason. It's pretty early on. And it's also my great pleasure to introduce to our commentary box our resident badminton expert and former national Danish coach, Steen Pedersen. Steen, how have you been?
Well, we've been busy traveling from Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's been
to Changzhou here.
Certainly has been. I was telling the viewers earlier there have been some very extreme weather conditions around Changzhou, and they did affect your travel. Well, I'm glad to have you here. This is going to be a huge match for Zii Jia, who, in my view, has really picked up his form. I mean, let's look at Koki first. 25 years old. What's your take on Koki Watanabe?
Well, he's a dangerous player, and I'm looking forward to see this match. I don't think this is a given Zii Jia progression to the second round, but we don't know exactly what kind of shape Koki Watanabe is in.
Yeah. As for Zii Jia, I said he's now up to world number 3. Had a good run running up to the Olympics, where of course he did win his bronze medal, but also won the Australian Open. That was a big title for him. Won the tie as well in Open and made a couple of quarterfinal appearances. So has certainly picked up his form under the tutelage of Wong Tat Meng. But I think you're right. I think from what we've seen today as well, none of these matches have been a given. The drift seems to be pretty significant here at the Changzhou Olympic Stadium. And Zii Jia would be starting from the slightly better side of the court. So for Koki Watanabe, it's he did win the Canada Open, 3rd at the US Open, and quarterfinalist at the All England and the India Open. That was pretty much at the start of the year. But can the world number 14 upset the new world number 3? So we're about ready to get underway here. That was Wong Tat Meng. And our umpire for this one, Xu Ziyun. Joined by our service judge, Hei Su-ying.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Koki Watanabe, Japan. And on my left, Zii Jia, Malaysia. Zii Jia to serve, level. Play.
So Zii Jia gets us underway. last point there, Steve.
1 love.
Yeah, and I think Zii Jia is playing up against the drift, isn't he, here in the first game?
You have the drift blowing from, as you watch it on the screen, bottom to top. And it has been pretty significant.
Love.
Been some definitely easier points to be scored on that side.
Yeah, I feel it when making my way to this commentary position here that the doors in the past, they were all wide open, and there was cool air conditioning blowing out, warm air coming in. It's rather warm here in Changjiang Olympic Sports Center.
Well, it's a developed rally for the third point, sorry. That's a nice touch in by Zii Jia.
4 love.
Yeah, that's well played. That's the way to do it. A little deception and
Love.
a flat push over Koki Watanabe. When they change ends, we're going to see the opposite. That it's the Japanese who can do that. What plays into the hands of Zii Jia is that he's a natural attacking player, so he might have an easier task of coping with the drift along with him, so to speak. But there we saw it. The most likely development here is that Zii Jia is going to win the first game fairly convincing, and then it's going to be much closer in the second game. Perhaps Koki Watanabe can take it if he gets a head start. Yeah. And we might see Zii Jia lose a little bit of interest in the second game, and then they play all out in the third game where they change ends in the middle.
That's what's been happening today.
Yeah.
And I said, if the only pair, Go Sun-hwan and Siobhan Lai in the mixed doubles, who were able to control both sides, came through the straight games.
And the mixed doubles is a little bit less sensitive to the drift because you really have no intention of lifting on either of the sides. This lifting will expose the female players.
That was a very flat match. So far, Zii Jia is showing the new Zii Jia, not naturally moving for a smash, which is what he used to do in this early part of his career.
Yeah, the thing is, we're not really sure about where Zii Jia is either, because he played Japan Open, lost in the first round to the to-be winner. Nobody knew that at that time. But that was quickly after the Olympics, after the bronze medal win. It's only been 3 weeks since Japan Open, so
well, he'd certainly benefit from a good run here. He's gone for that push again. This time it's out.
3-9.
But he's set up a decent buffer already.
Challenges score in.
He certainly wasn't 100% confident about where that was going to land. Huge height difference between these players. 6'1", Zii Jia, 5'5". Koki Watanabe. That one did creep in the end. So Zii Jia loses one of his challenges.
9. Play.
took his
not
eye
the
off
best
that.
service return, but good placement on the serve by Watanabe. Just inside the right shoulder of Zii Jia. Good play.
Forcing that lift.
6-9.
So Watanabe closing up after being 7-love down. That's a great smash straight down the line.
And that's the way to do it when you play with the drift.
9.
And Zii Jia has got to come up with something in his defense, or avoid getting into defense in the first place.
Yeah. Go for the all-out attack to start off with. Well, a key couple of points for Watanabe.
4.
That's one of them.
8-9.
That's a great
That's
return.
I like it.
Service over. 10-8. Interval.
So at the break, 11-8. Zii Jia with a couple of nice backhand kills.
Court 1.
いや簡単に打てるんで、まあでも沈めるしかないですよね。で前粘って。
20 seconds. Play.
So 11-8 as they get into the second part of game one. Oh, that was very hopeful by Watanabe.
Did really well to keep that inside the line.
9.
A little deception
11.
on the lift. Let's see if we can. Yeah, there it is, holding it a little bit and then flicking.
Happy with himself with that, and he should be. Oh, Koki coming in strong. Wow.
10.
Seems
11.
like, yeah, at the moment he's scoring in his attack at will. Good follow-up.
Just putting too much pressure on Zii Jia at the moment. He's just 1 point ahead. That would have been a fantastic cross-court drop.
Service over. 12.
There is one Tatmang,
10.
the coach of Zii Jia. The interesting thing is that Zii Jia, as mentioned, lost to Lanier in Japan Open, but Koki Watanabe, he beat him in the final of Canada.
Service over. 11. 12.
It's an unexpected turn of events,
Yeah.
and seems like Zii Jia is really struggling in his defense.
Well, if he gets himself, as you said, into defensive situations, then that's certainly not his natural forte.
No.
So maybe that's what they work on
Service over.
in training, but he's not I mean, this is, with all due respect to Zii Jia, getting any better at it. I think he's said if you put him into an attacking situation, that's it. That's done and dusted.
And that's understandable. And like you said, it's not his strength. It's never going to be his strength, but he's going to have to be able to survive a certain amount of defense. On the other hand, the attack is not Koki Watanabe's strength either. Short. So he's playing way short, Zii Jia.
Well, those screams that you're hearing are actually for Kunlevit Vitisan against Suli Yang on court 2. That's into a third game now. And as you can imagine, the home crowd would love Suli Yang to beat the current and reigning world champion. It's all about men's singles happening on court 3, as I said. Narioka versus Obayashi. Meanwhile, Watanabe giving as good as he gets here and waiting for an error from Zii Jia, which turns up. So, a first lead for Watanabe, 14-13. From the weaker side of the court.
This is not looking good for Zii Jia. Who's up 8-0 and 9-1. So
yeah, he's been consistently losing ground since that 9th point.
13-5 in the last 18 rallies. Maybe he's gotten a little bit overconfident, thinking that the first game would go easy. I thought that as well.
Well, I think everyone did.
Credit to Watanabe for getting back into the match,
certainly
adjusting to the situation.
Well, that's actually what I was going to say. It's about being adaptable and adjusting, and I don't think Zii Jia has that quite yet in his forte. It either goes one way or the other, but actually having to change how you play on the current form of your opponent, that's something the likes of Victor Axelsen and Shi, of course, do very, very well.
It's in control again. And now from having a 9-1 lead and sort of being rather confident, I think he must be very uncertain now, Zii Jia.
16-14. He's got to really watch himself.
Wow. This is looking a lot like the Zii Jia we saw in Japan.
Well, his fans are getting behind him. That's been pushed too long as well, so...
I get the impression that he's here, but he's not really here.
14.
Yes, like his mind is somewhere else.
It seems like it. So he's got to gear up.
Might be that he's expecting set plays, set combinations that he can get into, and Watanabe is just not giving them to him.
No, but
forcing him to play a little bit more.
He's not doing that much. I mean, Zii Jia is making way too many. He's making errors, and his defense is not working really well.
And there you go. It's a classic example of that. So Watanabe with 6 game points, and you can see the frustration on Zii Jia's face. Not going the way he thought at all. Came back high enough for him to fire off his trademark smash.
15-20.
Well, that's in.
Game. First game won by Koki Watanabe. 21-15.
Well. As we look at that last point, Koki Watanabe has done it. Took a little bit of a glance off the net, but still Yeah, the accuracy. And he takes the first 15, 21-15.
ロブ出したいですね、とりあえず。それをこうやって。そうですね。はい、はい、こっちからだと多分100ほぼ決まらん、俺もそうし。遅いから。全部前流しされて、俺がこうやって低いの上げたらワンジャンして、動かない作戦使ってきた。それ見て。ブロックコース。よしよし。
So a change of ends, and Zii Jia with a lot of work to do here, as Koki Watanabe is pretty fired up for this one.
Play.
Not that long now, of course, he's got to face that problem. An extra bit of push from the wind.
Love.
Nice drop in the mid-court. Watanabe seizing this opportunity of a slightly unfocused Zii Jia. I think that's probably the best way.
That's to put it mildly. But the question mark is, how could he get ahead 9-1?
Yeah, I think it was a slow start. I think I said a lot of people trying to get, to grips with day one here at the China Open, and it is day one, where you really have to start controlling things. And maybe, well, Koki,
that's better.
Just a little bit longer to get settled in. But his defense seems a lot more solid. And he's coming in with the attack as well. I guess, Steen, you'd have to just have a balance of both. You don't have to be perfect at both. But if you have a good enough defense and a good enough attack, then that's going to be a solid enough output.
It depends on the matchup. For Koki Watanabe, of cource, he needs to have a strong enough defense so that he can get to attack a bit more times in a rally, whereas Zii Jia oftentimes only needs one attacking period in a rally. But he's also developed his game, so we saw that at the Olympics, that he's capable of playing a little bit more patiently. But not here. He looks a bit
jaded,
out of shape, to say it frankly.
Wonderful from Watanabe, straight onto the line.
Yeah. Because that's what we want to see, and we saw that with Alex Lanier in Japan Open. That this is the time for the youngsters to make a name for themselves. Koki Watanabe is not exactly a youngster, but he's still not an established top player. And there's matches to be won. There's good victories lying out there if you're in good shape, because this is still Japan Open was super quickly after the Olympics. It was only 2 weeks.
So couple of weeks, yeah.
And this is 5 weeks past the Olympics that has been built up for like
at
least 2 years.
Yeah, I think the Olympic cycle, especially with it being in Paris, is such a long and big trip for some of these players that it wasn't a surprise to see a drop-off for a lot of them. The only Olympian, Victor Axelsen, that won the gold and then came back and won Hong Kong last week. That's the only real success that we've seen. But I said that's Victor, and Victor is an all-round player with very few weaknesses. So he took his break, which was Japan, Korea, came back for Hong Kong and picked up his second title of the year. Now, Zii Jia has smashed his racket up, but that is going to do nothing. A new racket and a bit of powder for a 7-love deficit in the second game. All pressure you could possibly think of is against him right now.
And it's possibly one of the situations where I should stay away from coming with another prediction when the first one has gone so horribly wrong.
No, I said the same thing at the top of the day. I remember. I don't think you could be faulted for thinking that. In the form that he's in, coming back as world number 3, he's expected to do a lot more. But he is a patchy player at times. He's read that completely wrong. 8-love, 9-love. He's not just having difficulty.
He's 28-6 down at the moment from when he led 9-1 in the first game.
Wow. Oh, that's a stat for you. Just not firing at all.
No, and I think we just want to get out of here. Zii Jia, this is not fun.
Well, I guess it can't help if you do have a kind of unfocused mentality and you're patchy in terms of where you're thinking, then being this far down, you're going to start making rash attempts at trying to win. 11-love. I haven't seen a mid-game interval at 11-love for a long time. But it's happened, and Watanabe is in prime position here. So they are back on court, and it's a difficult situation, Steen, because I said the last time Zii Jia played like this, and I was commentating.
11-love.
You tell the truth, and you basically tell it as you see it. But there was a lot of online abuse that I got afterwards from Zii Jia fans. That's the truth.
But the thing is, I mean, he's here, he's on court. Yeah. He's taking his defeat here. There's some players are not here. They're resting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's continuing. And Koki Watanabe might get in a situation where he just doesn't know what to do next because he keeps scoring.
So I feel he can go out from this match with excess self-confidence.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Oh, just drops that one in like it's a Sunday match with friends.
There's a strapping on Zii Jia's knee, and I don't know if
well, I think
something.
I think his movement's
is troubling
right.
him, but
that was was the drift, and you can see that bending in the air. He's had real struggles from this side of the court. And as I said earlier, I mean, it's difficult when you're 14-love down to say anything positive. Just not scoring at all. Wong Tak Meng was, well, you can see now on his face, and even in the mid-game interval, that he was just trying to find something that could fire something up.
I think right now Wong Tak Meng is merely there as a sort of emotional support because there's really nothing you can say that could change this around, I suppose.
Well, he's got his first point, but that really had nothing to do with him.
Koki Watanabe, who's just soldiering on, he's not taking his foot off the pedal, and rightly so, because
he shouldn't. No. He absolutely shouldn't. This is a glorious opportunity for him. I mean, considering they've been on court for 26 minutes, I think he was expecting, if anything, a much, much longer match.
Yeah, definitely. But I don't know if there's something wrong with Zii Jia. Maybe he's ill, or we don't know that.
Well, it's certainly the biggest deficit I've seen him face. It's the biggest deficit I've seen anybody face today. I mean, the drift is significant, but it's not 18-1 significant.
18-1.
So,
I can safely say that Zii Jia has not targeted this China Open. Total tape again,
really,
Koki Watanabe.
Really didn't get a hold on that. 19-1. 2 points away. And you can see on his face, there's Wong Tak Meng, as you can see, he has no answer to what's going on. And that's got to be worrying for a coach.
It was as if Watanabe suddenly became aware in the first game, where he was playing the difficult side, that hey, my opponent's got nothing on me in this match here. I might as well start bulldozing from even from the more difficult side.
It's gone all out. That's another wonderful,
merciful line call there. That would have been mean if
19
judge had prolonged it.
Match points. Is he going to clean it up? No. That's one saved, 18 to go.
2-20.
That's high. There's the winner. 21-2 is going to create its own kind of headline, I can tell you that. 29 minutes on court. Watanabe with possibly one of the easiest round ones he's had.
By Koki Watanabe, 21-15, 21-2.
And Zii Jia is going to face the press once again. As another mystery ailment has hit his game and hit it pretty hard. Koki Watanabe over the moon, as you can imagine. And as we look at the last point, well, he tried valiantly to defend that, but in the end it was an easy put away for Watanabe. And he is through to the second round. There's confirmation of it. 21-15, 21-2. in 29 minutes, and all that's left for me is to say goodbye to you, Steen. I'll be leaving you in the hands of Jill Clark, and I will see you tomorrow.